I don't know that I would expect this president to be everywhere in this moment. I mean, look, a critical element, any coach will tell you, any CEO will tell you, a critical element of running a team and winning is assessing the strengths and weaknesses of your team members and making sure you allocate them in the right way. Joe Biden has never been a big arena speaker. He's never been the most fluid speaker. And by the way, as someone who had a stutter growing up, it's very obvious to me that there's an apostrophe at the end of supporters there. He was referring to the garbage spewed by supporters, not simply the supporters themselves. But Joe Biden has been on the campaign trail. He's best getting ice cream in Maryland like he was today.
Kamala Harris is out on his backyard trying to give the closing argument to her campaign. What in the world is he doing? Now, I don't accept your framing of it personally because I actually do believe he, Harris, the Democratic Party, and most of their campaign do believe that half the country is garbage. They've also said people who go to Trump rallies are Nazis. And so it's pretty apparent the disdain with which they hold half of the country in.
Biden said that he's talking about the comedian, not supporters. What's your response?
My response is that the first statement from Joe Biden is the one that he truly believes. He does not think that people who disagree with him or his party, who support President Trump, are Americans. He thinks that they're garbage. That's a fact.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
What the f***? How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Hey, yo. Recently, President Trump was on the campaign trail and gave a rally in Madison Square Garden in which 19,500 people showed up. All right, he was able to fill the venue, and it was all around a good rally. All right, he had a lot of people come through and make speeches, including J.D. Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, Dr. Phil, Melania Trump. Dana White was also there, Elon Musk, and then there was a comedian named Tony Hinchcliffe. Now, I don't know much about the comedian, but I've looked into him, and he has some pretty good roasts out there. He ended up making a joke that had the mainstream media going crazy. Now, people on the ground said that they weren't very offended. They actually appreciated that it brought light to the situation, but never mind, that became the narrative of the whole rally. Okay, it turned into a Nazi rally full of insults and hate speech. Surprisingly, President Trump's campaign was given his October gift in that President Biden, current President Biden, got in front of a camera and called essentially half of the American populace garbage. First, I want to back up and say, kill Tony or Tony Hinchcliffe, whichever one he goes by. I don't think that he should have gotten the backlash that he got. All right, it was a joke, and people should be able to take jokes. And I think that we're at a point in time right now where comedians aren't even safe. Like, they literally get paid to make people laugh and toe the line. And if somebody is offended by that, hey, they can have you canceled. We have to allow people the ability to express themselves regardless of how we feel. If it's your first time, welcome. Other than that, welcome back. Under 800 gang, yo. I appreciate y'all for real. We having fun with this election cycle because I am still trying to get monetized, so I got to get that subscriber count up. So if you want to support the channel, if you drop a like, join in on the conversation with a comment, and hit that subscribe button, it goes a far way. So Joe Biden calls half of the country garbage. And that's okay to the mainstream media because they're getting up left and right and trying to make excuses for him as always. The mainstream media, along with Kamala, said that he was fit. He could do another 4 years. He was strong enough to do 2 terms. They said that at the beginning when Trump was saying that he wasn't going to be able to last the whole term. They covered for him. All right, whenever he falls off his bike, he was covered for. When he fell on the stage, he was covered for. Even all the way up until the debate against Trump, he was covered for by everyone. Now, all of a sudden, people are making every excuse for him. Okay, he misspoke. He was stuttering a little bit. And that's just what the media has done throughout his whole presidency. Okay, they've made excuses for him left and right. They don't give Trump near that type of grace. Okay, even following 3 assassination attempts on his life, they still will get up in front of the camera and call him Hitler. He's a Nazi. He's a fascist. So here's Whoopi Goldberg, okay? 24 hours after they just had a roundtable discussion in which Sonny Hostin is over there. Oh, I'll never forgive him for what he said about Puerto Ricans. Here she is about to play what Joe Biden said. Okay, she's going to defend him. But I wanted you to check out the Views audience's response to hearing President Biden call half of the country garbage.
President Biden got a lot of blowback over these particular comments about who's Madison Square at his rally, what went on. So the president, current president, said something and then everybody lost their minds. Take a look.
And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters, his demonization.
All right. What you heard there is the heavy left Democratic audience that is on The View. Okay, and even they could understand that that was Joe Biden once again being authentic. All right, he fully meant what he said right there. He believes that Trump supporters are garbage. But this is all President Biden has done since he got into the office. Okay, he ran in 2020 that he was going to unify the country. Okay, he was going to bring us all together after suffering 4 years under Trump. And I would argue that the country now is more divided than it's ever been.
Do you sympathise with any voters who do feel offended by or insulted by the garbage comments?
I am running for president of the United States. I will be traveling to 3 states today to do what I have been doing throughout.
So about 24 hours after the whole media was on fire because a comedian made a joke, and what they love to say is Trump is on the ballot and Biden isn't. And they're right with that. But Biden is literally the sitting president, and that's how he's conducting himself. And everybody says something about Trump's character, and he doesn't have the character to lead the country. Is anyone surprised? This is coming from the sitting vice president that still can't say the name of certain victims that have been deleted by people here in the country illegally. All of these Democrats think that the people that's not voting for them are garbage for real. Check this out. When black men were voting for Democrats at a 95th percentile, nobody was calling us coons, and nobody was calling us sellouts, and nobody was saying we wanted to be white, and nobody was saying this and that. But as soon as you don't go along with their narrative, as soon as you want to be something other than what they want you to be, that's when the insults start flying. I'm bringing up this story because I think the hypocrisy is amazing. I know that these people don't think very highly of you if you're on the other side. I know that these people aren't going to be open-minded to you, that they're going to just brush you off as an idiot. Like, it is what it is. And this is why Kamala cannot be president. She can't speak off the cuff. She should have taken this opportunity for someone that wants to be the president to unify the people, to say, hey, President Biden probably misspoke. That she does not think that Americans that don't support her are garbage, that, we all need to come together to unify. She should have used that opportunity, but she doesn't know how to, improvise.
So remember Hillary, she said deplorable, and then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable, that didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know, you have to please forgive him. Please forgive him, for he not knoweth what he said. Terrible to say a thing like that, but he really doesn't know. Honestly, he doesn't. And I'm convinced that he likes me more than he likes Kamala.
See, that's all she had to do. That's all Kamala had to do. Okay, that's it. Okay, you have former President Trump apologizing on President Biden's behalf. All right, even if you don't totally mean it, that's it. And this is why she doesn't stand a chance against Trump. Okay, everyone can see right through it, and he's just authentic. And he's funny too. Like, she can't keep up.
He was not calling Trump supporters garbage, which is why this is why he wanted to make sure that we put out a statement that clarified what he meant.
All these people do is lie. And the only time that they can articulate a defense is when it comes to President Biden or Kamala Harris. Whenever it comes to Trump, they can't think articulately. They think everything that he says is literally. They can't differentiate when it's a joke. They decide when they can take things literally or take things figuratively. Now they're saying President Biden posted this, which I don't believe it. All right, this post was made like after 9 o'clock at night. And I just don't believe that President Biden is coherent enough to stay up past 5 o'clock in the evening. All right, he gets his oatmeal, he gets his diaper changed, and then he gets put to bed. But anyway, a lot of these places are on here arguing this, okay, that when he said supporters, okay, the only garbage this is what he said, the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. They somehow put an apostrophe right here. And correct me if I'm wrong to all my English gurus out there. I thought if there was an apostrophe S, it had to like show ownership or something like that. All that they've had for like the last at least 3 weeks is just fear mongering. Whether it's at black people, whether it's at anybody that feels marginalized. Now they're going after the Latin community. Dude, it's not going to work. Americans are not afraid of the change. Okay, if you're telling us the only thing we have to be afraid of is a Trump administration who a lot of people can argue they were doing a lot better under, and the only thing that you have to say is Trump's going to do this, Trump's going to do that, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Yo, nobody sees that as strength. You can't be saying you're going to be a leader and your only key leading facts in why people should vote for you is out of fear. Because even on the world stage, I don't feel safe with Kamala Harris. Okay, if you think Xi Jinping and Putin and Kim Jong-un are going to take her seriously, you're snorting and sniffing and sipping some of that really, really good stuff. There's no way in hell. If y'all are mad at the way Trump speaks about her and y'all like, oh my gosh, Trump is speaking to her, she's a woman, you need to have respect. Yeah, go to North Korea and say that. Go to Russia and say that. Go to China. People in America have it so damn good that we don't know how good we have it until we leave the country. You think that those world leaders give a damn? They're going to speak to her. They're going to be having their own conversations right in front of her and just ignoring her. Same thing that they did with Biden. In closing, the joke made at Trump's rally was not a big deal. Okay, it was made by a comedian, and they're talking about Trump is the one on the ballot. Why do they care what the comedian said? How would he know that he would make the joke? Okay, and then a whole bunch of people that are Hispanic, that are Puerto Rican, were not offended, and the media is trying to cause this mayhem and frenzy. Then you have the actual sitting president call Trump supporters garbage, and everyone has a defense for him. Everyone has a reason why he did it. Oh, he stutters. He's that. Well, why is he the sitting president if he can't even express himself properly? Okay, if he can't have formulate a coherent thought and articulate it, why is he the sitting president? Okay, and why did it take a debate against Trump for the media to finally admit it? For Kamala Harris to finally admit it and for her to take the reins to the whole thing, even though she wasn't democratically elected, she was selected. Either way, interested to know whatever you're thinking in the comments section. Until the next video, y'all be safe and stay wavy.
I repeat, repetition is the father of learning.